Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, to another podcast courtesy of the Comic Book University. I am Bill, and let's get into our lesson. Today's date is August 8th, 1986. 1986. No, living in the past. Would I just step out of a DeLorean? Jeez. Nah, it's 2016. Which is exactly 30 years to the day after I said, and what happened on that day? Guys, 30 years ago, on this very day, August 8th, it's 8/8, 1986, Transformers the movie, the real one. All right, no fake explosions making us feel good about ourselves. No. An actual hard-hitting animated movie that, let's face it, if you watched this while you were a kid, it's affected you to this day, right? This is like probably the most mind-blowing experience that any of us had watching this. And even now, I'm one of those adults who's taken my little brother-in-law to the Michael Bay movies. Like, they're so great, they're so fun, I love these movies. And I just want to smack the little kid because no, it's not compared to the Transformers the movie. Man, we're talking about, guys, if you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. And yes, you know when the feels are going to just hit you all at once, all right? We're talking about death and carnage, okay? When the things on TV at the time were the Transformers TV show, G.I. Joe TV show, even if, you got to stay up a little bit late and watch Mr. T as B.A. Baracus, right? Which was badass Baracus. Trivia. On the A-Team, right? All you ever saw was people shooting each other, right? Throwing grenades and people flying and people dodging bullets. And like, come on, when we were kids, we used to think, we'll get into a gunfight. It's not a big deal. Nobody ever gets shot. Like what? There was one time somebody got shot. I think Face got shot on the A-Team. Neither here nor there. But the idea is that nobody ever got hurt in these cartoons or in these TV shows that we used to watch when we were kids. And then Transformers the movie came out. And if you were a collector of the toys, as I was when that came out, you got pissed because your whole toy collection just got completely wiped out. And that's really what it was. That's the thing that's such a killer. The guys who were writing for Transformers the movie were mostly the same team that was doing the TV show. On average, it took about 3 months to do one single 30-minute episode. And mind you, that's not including commercials and whatnot, right? Actually, it's counting for commercials. Anyway, so like a 22-minute or so episode of the Transformers cartoon. 3 months for just one of them. And simultaneously, while they were doing the television show, we had the first 2 seasons of the Transformers, and then they were working on the 3rd season of Transformers, and they were doing the movie at the same time. The movie had a budget of $6 million. That's how much it cost to do 18 episodes of the television show. So that's pretty much a season, right? They banked a lot on this cartoon, all right, this animation, and it did not pan out for them well at all. Make no mistake, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but as those of you who'd seen the movie, this movie hurt. This movie changed you inside. We all became cynicals. We all became cynical kids because the Transformers were killed. They murdered Transformers, like just cold blood, cold circuits, and axle grease and lug nuts. Anyway, it was bad. Right? Hasbro told, was it Tohai? I'm not Japanese. I don't know how to say the word properly. Anyway, they told the company, listen, here's what you got to do. We want you to kill off a bunch of those old Transformers, all right? The Generation 1 Transformers from Season 1 and 2, yeah, they got to go. Because we need to inspire the kids to buy new toys. That's kind of one of the things that really affects you as an adult, right? That your entire childhood was all based on marketing ploys. It's just horrible. But it's true. It's true. The the TV shows, they didn't think about trying to make money off of them like that. Yes, they made money off of the advertising and things like that, but even the comic book, it was a big deal by Hasbro and by other companies too, Mattel. Um, Lots of companies that you only make money off of the toys, and everything else that you're going to do is just to try and advertise for the toys, buying the toys. And once the kids have bought the toys, how do you make money afterwards? It's not like a car, planned obsolescence out of Detroit, where they say, oh yeah, you buy the car, but we're making the car too good, so let's make the car cheap and easily, more easily broken. So this way you got to come and buy parts also, make you reliant on them. They couldn't really do that with the toys, so what they did was, they said, we're going to make all new toys now. I get it, but the idea of trying to force the kids to buy these new toys by killing all of their other toys, that's just horrible, man. That's horrible. So this robotic genocide basically came down to, we have this incredible TV series. The movie comes out. It was released in just under 1,000 cinemas. Kids went to go and see it. Oh, man, I was spared of seeing it in the big screen. Yeah, forget about it. That would have been horrible. But I did see it when they released it on a video cassette. Yes, video cassette. I'm that old. Shut up. And, wow. They released this movie, and you have the Transformers, and it's the light music, and they're chilling out, and blah, blah, blah. But first, you see this gigantic planet coming towards this other planet. But this planet has big insect-like mandibles, right? Sharp and cutty. And it eats the planet and all the people on it. One person gets off. And the other person that was almost going to get off, you remember that scene, right? Credits! No, didn't make it. You're eaten. You're digested, dude. You're now Unicron poop because, wow, just mass murder. He quite literally destroyed an entire race of those robots. By the way, I didn't know there were that many robotic organisms in the universe. Go figure. So basically, he's a robotic Galactus, right? He's just chomping and munching on all these robotic planets. It's insane. It's insane. So then we go into the happy-go-lucky music and ha ha ha, yeah, and everybody's happy and oh, Laserbeak is there and he's spying on the Autobots again. Like, these guys not have any sensors to detect freaking Laserbeak? Like, just constantly, really? Like, call the NSA. They'd figure it out by now. Anyway, so the Autobots, they're on one of the moon bases and they're about to attack Cybertron and take their planet back, but they don't have enough energon. So Optimus sends Ironhide and a small contingent of Autobots. So what he said? He said, Prowl, he's like the third, second in charge, right? He said Ironhide, right? Maybe he was second in charge. Anyway, sent Ratchet, the head mechanic / doctor, same thing for them. And he sent Brawl. Brawl was like one of my favorites, man. This guy he was small. I guess he had a gun. He didn't really need it. He just marched towards you and sock you in the jaw and knock your head around. But anyway, sent these guys on a mission back to Earth to refuel so they could prepare for one final strike. Nope. Megatron shows up with all of the Decepticons, blow a hole in the side of the ship, and the reason why I'm getting tripped up here is because the Autobots were still playing by G rules. G rules? No, not OG rules. No. They're playing by regular rated G rules from the television series, right? And Braun gets up, I'll stop them, and he's going to charge right into a whole bunch of guys with guns and whatnot, because guns miss, bullets miss, laser blasts miss, right? Yeah. What was this show rated again? PG-13? PG-13! Who was 13 years old with those toys? Anyway, so Brawl runs up. He doesn't even make it there. One shot from Megatron as he screams, die, Autobots! Boom! And ow. Like that. And you're looking like, whoa, what just happened to Brawl? That's not cool. And all of a sudden, Prowl gets up and he's got, better than now. This dude gets shot up so many times. Maybe it's only like 3 shots or so. I swear to God, it might as well have been 30 or 300 because I'm just sitting there looking at the TV like, oh my God, stop shooting this poor guy. He's the police. You can't shoot the police. It's like an 80s rap song. You can't do that. You can't do that. And like then the smoke came out of his mouth and it's like, oh, yo, homeboy really just died. That's a death. He just. And then Ironhide and Ratchet get up and like, what? So they start blasting also, and they both go down. And they're like looking at each other like, what's going on? How come their guns have real ammunition in it, not the little lightways and firecrackers that we've been using since the TV show? Who authorized this? And then if it couldn't get any worse, they go up and like, yeah, we're going to sneak in there. We're going to do what we got to do. And what happens? Ironhide. No! I don't know if it was meant to be like this, but I swear every single time I watch this scene, when Megatron just used that fusion cannon and just boom, and just takes out Ironhide, I swear to God, it looks like the ship just goes like this. Like that. And just, you know that there's Ironhide guts splattered everywhere. And like, wow. Wow, that did not just happen. That's technically half of Peter Cullen right there. Peter Cullen voiced Optimus Prime and Ironhide. It's in the credits. Wow, that's not supposed to happen. So clearly we're playing by some completely different rules here, right? So they start coming, and then here comes Hot Rod. Hot Rod, this brash little, what did Cup call him? I like Cup. Cup was cool. Hate Hot Rod. And all of you hate Hot Rod too, and you know why. You know why. Because he's the one who got Optimus killed. That's right, I'm skipping right to the front. I'm skipping right to the meat and potatoes, because you know what? The entire rest of the movie might as well not even happen. While Springer and RC are moving the things with little Spike's son Daniel, right? Moving and also there's like, you know, Ironhide and not Ironhide, Wheeljack and Windcharger, right? They're just laying there. Oh, they're dead. Oh my God! Like they're killing. What happened to kill these new guys? I don't have anything invested in these new guys. Kill these new guys. You know what are you doing killing my guys? What did you do? And oh my God, Snarl. The Dinobot wasn't even in the movie. Like, what, did he get killed preemptively? There's supposed to be 5 Dinobots. The Stegosaurus was gone. What happened to Snarl? Anyway. So they're sitting there fighting, and then, like, all of a sudden, Optimus, he goes up and says, one must stand, one shall fall, and, like, goes in, and, like, there's the music. That's when you hear The Touch by Stan Bush. You just heard Dare earlier, right? And also by Stan Bush, and he goes in. It's just, like, such... Optimus is going to fix things, right? He's going to lay down the law. And he goes in, oh, yeah, he's sitting there, he's running over people. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, Optimus. 12 years old, screaming that at the TV screen. Yeah! I actually got grounded that day. Anyway, Optimus, like, kicked some serious booty right there, right? He kicked some metal diapers, right? And all of a sudden, here comes Megatron, and they're fighting, and he knocks off the fusion cannon, and then he pulls out a freaking lightsaber like he's Darth Vader. Frank Welker could probably do Darth Vader's voice. Anyway, wipes him off the floor, right? Just boom, and like they kill, and what was it? Just uppercuts him and knocks him out, right? Megatron gets carried away. Suddenly, that's all it was that turned the tide, as Cup said, and the Decepticons retreat. But Optimus, they're not going to kill Optimus. They ain't going to kill Optimus, right? They're not going to do that. And there's freaking Hot Rod, right? It's his fault. It's his fault. And we'll get into that more later, all right? But you know it's his fault that Optimus got killed. Should have just minded his own business, stay off on the side. No. He had to jump in this 30 years ago. Still pissed off at Hot Rod, right? Dude goes off, Optimus dies. Optimus dies. Gives the Matrix of leadership to this guy, Ultra Magnus, that we're so much... He looked cool. He had a cool voice. What was that, Richard Stack? Right? He looked cool, but you can't just kill Optimus Prime, dude. Kill Optimus Prime. He turned brown. Like, when did that happen? What's up with the accelerated rust? Oxidization doesn't work that quickly. Believe it, right? Yeah, they killed Optimus Prime. Actually killed him. Till all are one. What? But what's cool is that they incorporate the matrix of leadership in this. All right, now here's where my comic bookness comes out. Right, the matrix of leadership was never in the cartoon. The first 2 seasons, it was never there. But in the comic book, it was there. I forget when it was mentioned first, but I think that by episode 8, they actually showed it, the matrix of leadership. And yeah, it looked the exact same, right? So like that whole concept comes from the Marvel comics. They had carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. And yes, they did do a 3-issue print of the movie, but they literally looked at that as, that's not canon. That's sometime in the far-fetched future, if ever we're going to use it. It's not now. And Optimus never actually died in the main run of the comics. That was a side 3 issues that was released, the Transformers the movie. Ooh, and yeah, all this crazy stuff starts happening. Unicron shows up and he transforms Megatron and turns the Insecticons and the what are the flying plane, the flying planes, those planes, not the walking planes. Anyway, he turns those guys into, things. You got the Cyclonus and you got the Sweeps, and it's unconfirmed if was it Bombshell or not Dirge, Skywarp or Thundercracker. One of those 3 became Cyclonus, and one of them became the other one, and then somebody became Scourge. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can't go by which was first and second. But anyway, yeah, what basically happens at this point is you've got a new leader for the Decepticons. So nobody died. You're thinking these guys are about to die in space. No, they didn't lose a single casualty, right? Like, that's insane. So they come back, and the one Decepticon who actually dies, well, let's face it, he's the one who really deserved it. Starscream bites the dust after all that plotting, all that conniving, all that backstabbing and whatnot. Megatron was just like a total puss, and Galvatron shows up. He's like, psh, F you, boom, takes him out, like gangster style. He literally, like, he had the what do you call it, the gangster cap on and everything. It's just like, yeah, how you doing? Boom, took him out. Sick. Later on came back as a ghost. That was a good episode, Starscream's Ghost. But and all this crazy stuff starts happening. Blah, 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 yakety smackety. Jazz and Cliffjumper almost bite the dust. At the very end, I think that they were saved. I think. Bumblebee was definitely saved. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Jazz was saved. Meanwhile, he's the first person that Richard Bay kills. Like, what the frig? You don't kill Jazz. So, towards the end, Hot Rod all of a sudden becomes Rodimus Prime because he gets his hands on the Matrix of Leadership and till all are one and light our darkest hour and yeah. Fuck Rodimus, all right? Because fuck Hot Rod. He's the one who got Prime killed in the first place. And that's where it all turned bad on them, right? This is where it turned so bad on them. In the reason why, the main reason from the different, online sources and watching the DVDs, the interviews and things like that, right? Comic convention appearances and interviews there. The people who were doing the G.I. Joe movie, which was actually being done simultaneously, but was supposed to have a further back release date, asked, listen, can we kill Duke, the at the time leader of the Joes? Like, yeah. In fact, that's a really good idea. Then they call up Tohai, and they say, hey man, check this out. We want to make sure you're going to really kill Optimus Prime. I know we said kill off, a bunch of other ones, but mandatory, kill off Optimus Prime. All right, we're gonna do this. Almost makes me wonder if Transformers had the later release date and G.I. Joe went first, if the reaction would have been so bad that they would have spared Optimus. But let's face it, we all know that, one, Duke was not nearly as popular as Optimus Prime was. Just, come on, right? Snake Eyes, sure. Duke, no. But more than that, it's actually kind of good that Optimus Prime died, because they actually kind of hinted towards it. If you ever saw the commercials leading up to, the movie coming out, does Optimus Prime die? Well, yeah, they kill him. But does is a question. It's not the answer. Like, we were just like, psst, they ain't killing Optimus. We did not know they changed the rules. We did not know they were going to make it a PG-13 movie. And the only reason why they made it a PG-13 movie to begin with was because if the movie is only G, then it's not going to play those later hours. It can't. The movie theaters aren't going to play those later hours. So they made it PG-13 so it could play all day, all night to try and get more people coming in. And then they took advantage of that and said, well, since it's PG-13 anyways, let's actually brutally kill these guys. And I can assure you it was supposed to be worse. If you look online, you can actually see that the death of Ultra Magnus, which was temporary, the Junkions were going to fix him anyways, but the death of Ultra Magnus was actually a lot worse than it was. Instead of just being shot a couple times and then just falling down, you're thinking, you pussy, Prime took a lot worse than that. Instead, what it actually was the sweeps came, like 4 of them, and grappling hooked each of his appendages and ripped him apart. Yeah, that would have been great visual for the kiddies. But that's nothing compared to what never even made the cutting room floor, right? Apparently there was supposed to be in the battle for Autobot City on Earth, right before Optimus died, there was supposed to be what they considered a push of the Light Brigade, right? Something along those lines, where the remaining Autobots from Generation 1, right, in Season 1 and 2, all decide to charge the Decepticons. It would have made more sense instead of just, Prime knocked out Megatron, so everybody retreats, right? It was supposed to be because they already took so many casualties from this charge of the Light Brigade. And all of those Transformers from the first 2 seasons of the cartoon were supposed to die, except for very few. I never got any names on which ones weren't supposed to die, but even the ones who did live, the very few, were supposed to be crawling forward and indicating that they might not make it, which would have been horrible. Could you imagine these kids looking at it and just going home and just throwing all their toys away? Like, psh, you guys, I thought you guys were tougher than this, Yeah, absolutely horrible. Like, terrible what these people try to do to us, We were kids. We put our trust in you. Optimus Prime, his voice alone, thank you, Peter Cullen, filled us with safety, security. It made us believe that we were going to be okay. Nope, they had other plans in mind. So anyway, that was the whole reason for the Transformers the movie, right? And it got so many bad reviews. Forget about the reviews, just fans, mothers calling in, complaining their kids are crying. Their kids are like locking themselves in the room. It got so bad that they actually called up the G.I. Joe, the movie writers, and said, we changed your mind. You can't kill Duke. Okay, you can't kill Duke. Well, we already drew it. Well, you better draw something else. So they made it so he goes into a coma and wakes up at the end, Whew. Of course, Nemesis Enforcer. Oh, that guy was badass. But it actually changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of things. It made it so that G.I. Joe the movie didn't go to theaters. It went to direct to VHS instead, right? The My Little Ponies movie, which was released around the same time, that bombed, and this movie bombed. So, here it is, $6 million, they still wind up showing up so much behind in this movie. They didn't make their budget back. That's how bad it was. That's how big of a flop it was. But make no mistake, it is a cult phenomenon right now, right? It's like Rocky Horror Picture Show spectacular for the cult following. And most of us, I think, own the DVD in some way, shape, or form. Or if you're lucky, I lost mine, the original VHS, right, with a little cardboard sleeve. Oh, man, I'm so upset that I lost that. But the point is, the movie bombed. It was horrible. And it really changed a lot. In fact, 6 months later, they brought back Optimus Prime in the television show with that 2-parter, The Return of Optimus Prime. And he did come back before that, and they killed him again, which was just, okay, what are you people doing? You're playing my heartstrings, you bastards. But that's what they did, and whatever, we're going to deal with it. But they did wind up bringing back, and it was a really good story that they brought him back. It was not originally supposed to be the finale. It wasn't supposed to be in the TV show at all. They rushed to put out that two-parter. Face of the Ninja Kai, I think I think that's how it's pronounced. Was supposed to be the final episode, right? So you guys who own the DVD set, go ahead and look at that. That was actually supposed to be the last episode of season 3, but they added on last minute. Rush, part 1 and 2. When did that get released? The 25th, 24th, and 25th, I think it was, of February. Literally, like 6.5 months later. Imagine that. And for the first 2 weeks before that, they advertised, we're bringing back Optimus Prime. Get ready for this episode. Because, this cartoon, they bulk produced them. It actually came out new 5 days a week, right? As opposed to 1 episode a week, So, yeah, they were busting their humps to get these out, but especially those last 2 episodes. That was the biggest decry, the biggest animosity you could have had was that you killed Optimus Prime. It's a shame. It's a shame that they lost that kind of money, but you know what? It's one of those kind of things where, much like today, we could tell them what we want. They don't want to listen to us regularly. We could tell them what we want by simply not going to see these movies. That, we hear, spoilers for the movie, or we just go and see it once and we don't go and see it again. And then we come back and we tell our friends, listen, this is basically what happened. I don't think you're going to like the movie, and just talk to the people you know. I'm not making any suggestions like that, or any specific suggestions, but this is what I do. Rather than go and see a movie on opening night anymore, especially these reboots, that's the biggest thing that kills me is those reboots. Just like Transformers, the movie showed that we can have a big voice in the movie industry, and that's with our money. I mean, that's what talks. It was money that motivated them to kill all the Transformers from Generation 1 to begin with. I know myself. I had a job. I had my own job. When I was 10 to 12 years old, I did my own stuff. It was locally. It was actually like out of my home, but I did work and I did get money from this job, and I did put my money towards my allowance, before I was actually doing that. I did actually put my money towards buying Transformers. I scheduled, I would remember what the prices were in the toy stores, and I would write down, this costs this costs this, costs this, so if I save for this many weeks, I can get this toy, or I can buy 5 of these toys this week. Yeah, I spent my own money, and granted, I got the Omega Supreme toy for my 10th birthday, I think that was. I think it was maybe my 11th birthday, right? My mom got me that. I mean, and at the time, that was $60. I remember it, to this day, that was $60. And back then, 1985, that's a lot of money, $60. Especially for an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old at that time I was. So, yeah, Transformers the movie, it was a huge bomb at the box office, and it is much beloved today, but mostly because of the nostalgia behind it and what it's done for us, Anyway, I know that you guys are really looking forward to the interview that I have, so I'm going to get right on that right now. I just want to first off start off by saying thank you so much for being here. I mean, it is a huge honor, and you've just got fans everywhere. Thank you.
Well, Bill, I can honestly say it's my pleasure.
No, I mean, really, you owned the 80s, right? I want to thank you personally on behalf of all of the fans, Comic Book University, just everybody, all the kids who grew up at that time. You were, and still are, kind of our childhood. I mean, thank you so much.
Again, Bill, it was my pleasure. I enjoy teaching young Earth kids that you can solve all of your problems by simply kicking your enemies' butts.
Yeah, that is kind of how it worked, isn't it? Wow. That's deep. I didn't even think of that.
Well, I'm glad I gave you something to think about.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, when you think about it, you did let them escape every single episode. You let the Decepticons escape, and And they went back and you gave them a chance to think about their misdeeds. So, I mean, there's still a pretty positive message there. Wouldn't you agree?
Bill, to be honest, we only did that because it was a rated G show. I'd like to have fried them. But we held back because of ratings. And look at where that got us.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that really, man, like, Hasbro done you dirty. Done all of us dirty. Like, they really screwed up. They kind of screwed up my childhood a little bit. Wow, I became so cynical after that. Like, just, I wouldn't take crap from anybody. Like, they killed Optimus Prime. All was not right in the world, you know?
Yeah, those sons of bitches.
I'm sorry, I just, it's weird hearing, my childhood idol who taught me right and wrong, right from wrong, that you just kind of, you cursed. I don't know why. Just taints my childhood a little bit that, you, anyway.
What, didn't you see me in the latest Richard Bay movie with Mark Wahlberg? I was ready to kill all the humans because they messed with my fellow Autobots. You can't take crap, especially not from you carbon-based life forms.
Okay, this is disturbing. Yeah, I was actually just, hoping we could have a regular conversation about, like, you're my childhood hero. Like, I wanted to be you when I grew up. I mean, like, even just your name, Optimus Prime. Like, it was just so cool. I didn't even know what it meant. I don't know what it means today. What is Optimus? What the heck is Optimus? Like, optimal? A little Latin on it, but, Prime. It's like, yeah, like, you were awesome.
Actually, Bill, it's all about the initials. What are my initials?
OP. It's just, OP. You're OP. You're, like, overpowered. That's actually pretty cool, man. I'm almost having a Martha moment right now.
Superman and Batman? Psh, those losers.
Whoa. Let's try and, like, we're at a 10. Let's try and dial that down to about a 2. That's like you just called Batman and Superman losers. That's kind of not okay. That's not okay. You can't do that.
Fuck those pussies.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's just dial it down a little. Let's just dial it back. Let's just, like, I'm actually not cool with that at all. Like, you're supposed to be better than that. You're supposed to represent the ideals and everything. I mean, I feel like my childhood was wrong now. I feel like, I learned the wrong thing. Like, I mean, realistically. Wow, I'm actually really disappointed right now.
Quite frankly, Bill, I could give a damn. You got me wrong. You got all of us wrong. You're living on this fictitious planet of Earth, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Fictitious planet Earth? I'm here. I'm here right now. We're here. Like, we can. This is not fictitious. What are you talking about? Cybertron's fictitious. There's no Cybertron.
Ha 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 ha. You really haven't figured it out. We created the idea of Earth so that we could do what we did in the animation, and we could sell the toys and the comic books and all of that so that we could afford to buy Energon. It was all a money marketing ruse. That's all it was. And you bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
You asshole. You know what? You know what? Forget this interview, man. All right? Let me tell you something. Forget about the interview, okay? This is Comic Book University. I'm taking you to school, man. Look, you've got to be like the least effective leader ever. Ever. I mean, what have you ever done? What have you ever done? When have you ever led something?
I led the Autobots, buddy.
What? What does that even mean, you led the Autobots? You were in charge of the Autobots. They actually listened to you. I don't know why they listened to you. You were just. What did you ever do leadership wise? Look, you're a big guy. You're the biggest of the Autobots. You got the most firepower. You're the strongest guy. I had the toys. All right, I saw the little power scale on the back. Yeah, I saw all that stuff. I know you were the toughest one, but you were like, you didn't have any leadership skills. What did you do? The most things that you did, like really, what did you do? You led them into battle, and you got your butt kicked a lot of times. I mean, you know what? The coolest thing you ever did was say,
Autobots, transform and roll out.
"That's not leadership. That's a motto. That's a freaking motto." Okay? It's like a sales jingle. Okay? And I know I do marketing. Okay? You're not a leader. You're a jingle man. All right?
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
No, I'm serious. Okay? I'm serious. That's exactly how I feel. Okay? You never actually did anything leadership worthy. You said transform. Who cares? Who cares? All right? I can transform roll out. For crying out loud. When did you ever lead them in tactical battle? When did you actually do anything special? When did you actually like apply a strategy to maneuver and to actually like what did you do? What did you do? The closest thing I ever saw to an actual strategy was you said, let's take over the two Autobot, what do you call the Cybertron moon bases, and then we'll go and we'll lead an attack and take over Cybertron. And it failed. It failed. You guys can never even see that Laserbeak was always spying on you. Look. I had the toys, okay, and I had the frickin' the comic books. I know there was a Buzzsaw also, okay. There's another tape bird, okay. There was Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, okay. I don't know which one you think was more effective because Laserbeak was always like spying on you and stuff like that, okay. But first episode of the cartoon, that they had some other ones, but you never even saw Buzzsaw, all right? And even Laserbeak, we saw him and you didn't see. We're sitting there looking at Laserbeak. He's right there. He's like up your ass, spying on you. And you just, and you're not even noticing. And like all of your plans, and you never thought to send a spy? You got Mirage. You had freaking Mirage. Mirage, he's able to turn invisible. You had Hound. He could do like holographic projections, right? And you go to and he could, make a hologram of some, and you could get the whole freaking Autobot army to go over there and do what they were doing. No, you didn't even think about that. You didn't even think about that. You didn't think about doing counter-espionage. You didn't. How are you supposed to be effective?
All right, Mr. Smarty Pants, why don't you give me an example of an effective leader? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what you're doing. You're pointing at your nipples. What? What are you saying? Captain America? Really? He's a human. He's not even a transformer. He wouldn't work. What? Ah, that generic stuff. Ah, he might as well be a GoBot. Ha! I'd kick his sorry ass.
Okay, you see, that's what I mean. Right there. That's what I mean.
What do you mean?
I mean kicking his ass. Like, that's not leadership. Kicking somebody's ass is not leadership, all right? Beating somebody up is not leadership, okay? That's like the bullies in school. When, like, you get the answer right in a math test, all right? When the teacher calls on you, you raise your hand. Like, the guy over here, he gets the answer wrong, and you get the answer right. And he's like, oh yeah? And then he beats you up and says, now who's smart? I'm still smart. You're still a jackass. You're stronger than me. It has nothing to do with our brains, I mean, and that's you. That's you. Like, you're a bully. You're bigger, you're stronger, you're tougher, you're more durable. You get that giant gun that is the only match to Megatron's fusion cannon. Like you just built to be tough and strong, and they just followed the strongest guy and made you the leader because nobody wanted to handle the freaking bully. You're a bully. That's all you are, and you're not an effective bully. It's like you bully the other Autobots, something like that. Just come on, like Megatron killed you with a lightsaber, okay? With a lightsaber. You technically got killed by robotic Darth Vader. She's kind of robotic anyways. Yeah, you got killed by Darth Vader. How's that feel? Darth Vader.
All right, that's it. I'm kicking your ass now.
That was...
You win this round, fleshling. But next time... Yeah.
Yeah, guys, well, I'm really sorry. I didn't expect him to be such an asshole. Hopefully we get some other really good interviews. Yeah, that one kind of wasn't what I expected. Anyway, in the meantime, please like, subscribe, leave a cool comment. All right, and get going, my peeps. Catch you on the flip side.